Hello everyone, this is Carlos Hidalgo with Phenom Philosophy, and then we have my little quarantine puppy here, Nala. She is a Border Collie mix, and she is absolutely adorable, right? Hello, my name is Carlos Hidalgo, and this is Phenom Philosophy. Today I'm going to be doing a follow-up to my last video, which covered capturing Christianity's characterization of the problem of evil. After explaining the problem of evil, Cameron goes on to explain a commonly used theodicy known as the soul-building theodicy. Now, the first question we need to answer is, what is a theodicy? A theodicy is an answer to the question of why God permits evil in the world, as described by philosopher Alvin Plantinga. Most commonly, at least in my experience, Christians often use the free will theodicy as an explanation as to why God allows evil in the world. In Cameron's video, he appeals to a soul-building theodicy. So let's see how Cameron explains it.
But we can take it a step further. How do we know that God doesn't have a reason for allowing evil? We don't. One of the best reasons that theologians have offered is what's called soul building. Soul building says that without evil, we'd actually be losing out on the greatest goods. Have you ever forgiven someone that hurt you or had compassion on someone that was in pain? Now ask yourself, in a world with no evil in it at all, would you have been given the same opportunities to exemplify these goods and develop your character in these unique ways? The answer, of course, is no. So here's what I'm getting at. Taking away evil in the world actually means taking away the greatest goods.
So from here, we can see that Cameron is arguing that the evil in the world is necessary in order to attain the greatest goods in the world. The objection I want to put forth is this: can't God give us these goods without this much suffering? If God were all powerful, could it not be the case that he could create a world in which we could attain these goods while having a less amount of suffering? Cameron uses the examples of forgiveness and compassion to demonstrate this point.
You ever forgiven someone that hurt you or had compassion on someone that was in pain? Now ask yourself, in a world with no evil in it at all, would you have been given the same opportunities to exemplify these goods and develop your character in these unique ways? The answer, of course, is no.
Okay, so in this example, Cameron argues that forgiveness is only attainable if someone hurts me to start. But is it not possible that someone could have simply hurt me less in order for me to forgive them? In other words, it seems like our world has more evils than what's necessary in order to attain these goods, like compassion and forgiveness, like Cameron mentions. So let's move forward.
Goods pale in comparison to some of the bads in the world. You might be wondering, well, how does forgiveness outweigh child cancer? Now, I happen to think that humans in general are just really bad about weighing goods and bads with all the emotions involved and everything, but let's put that worry aside.
No, let's not put this worry aside. I'm not exactly sure if Cameron misspoke on this point, but it seems like he argues that we're really bad about weighing goods and bads, but then uses child cancer as an example. This is extremely problematic. This is like God going to a parent that lost their child to cancer and saying, this is so that way you could learn forgiveness. I'm pretty sure at that point, the parent would think, was there not an easier way for me to learn that lesson? And my child did not deserve to go through the suffering for character development?
Does it follow now that God doesn't exist? Still no. All that means is that we have a gap in our knowledge. That's it. Saying, I don't know why God allows child cancer, but surely God has a reason, is a completely legitimate answer.
While this may be a legitimate answer, is it one that we must accept? This answer is in no way convincing to the atheist that a God exists, and this is no way convincing to a grieving parent that a good God exists. Going back to my last video, while the problem of evil doesn't necessarily disprove the existence of a God, it is extremely problematic for the existence of an all-loving God. Given Cameron's attempt at a soul-building theodicy, he's really unsuccessful at convincing any atheists or to any grieving parents out there. On that note, I want to close with a message to anyone that's lost a loved one to cancer or knows of anybody that has lost a loved one. There is no need to accept unsatisfactory answers like,
surely God has a reason.
While it can be comforting to think that God exists and has a reason for all this, I find it more comforting and satisfactory to think these things happen for no reason, but there are always people around me capable and willing to support me. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you next time on Phenom Philosophy. Be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.